Man, this thing is rough. I expected a really big build, but I didn't find one. What's wrong with this fit? Let's get started. This is a 2009 Honda Fit, and today in this video we're going to answer, is this a good car to buy? There are some things wrong with it. Some we're going to get to fix, some we're not going to get to fix. But if you just look at the car, it looks pretty rough. The customer who owns this car has informed me that it is his daughter's car. She's apparently very hard on the car, and he admitted he himself is also, when he drives it, is very hard on the car. They have not treated it well. They fully admitted that. Let's take a look around this thing. The list you would think is going to be just astronomical. It's actually not. Right off the bat, we can see the paint is fading on the hood. Just like the previous video we did on the Honda Pilot, same situation going on here. Maybe it's a paint defect, I don't know what it is, but the headlights are also fogged up pretty bad. As we come around to the side, you can see right here, this corner window, the glass is missing and it's been replaced with plexiglass, and they kind of glued it back in with some silicone. Even that has a little crack in it, but that is plexiglass, guys. We do have a crack in the mirror, and we have continuation of paint fading on the belt line of the car, and it continues all the way to the roof. All the clear coat is gone on the roof. The back looks okay, and on this side it looks decent as well. Let's take one last look at the windshield. It looks like on the windshield that someone was headbanging a little too hard to Metallica, and they might have crashed their head into the windshield. I'm not sure what happened here, but perfectly circular impact on the windshield. So far, everything we've seen is cosmetic. We are not a body shop, we are a repair shop, so we're not going to be messing with any of that. Let's get the hood open. Here's our little baby, 1.5 liter Honda iVTEC, which means it has VTEC on exhaust and intake. As you can see, it's a small engine. It doesn't have tons of power. It's good on gas. Very, very easy to work on. Look at our thermostat, guys. It's a walk in the park to do the thermostat on this thing. Our alternator is just right there. Very easy to get to. If our EGR valve was to fail, it's right there also. Our radiator. We don't have to pull the whole front of the car off to get to it like an Audi. All of them require the entire front to come off. But this one, just a couple of brackets. You can remove this radiator very easily. Very easy to work on. Hey, come again. What'd you say, Mrs. Wizard?
Wizard, put that thing out of your ear. I know you have a listening problem, but I don't think that's what that's for.
Actually, this is perfect for these vehicles. One of the things I don't like about these engines is the oil fill is almost underneath the front cowl. Take a look. Here's our oil fill cap. Once you remove that, you have a hole that you can't get the oil into very easily. It'll easily spill all over the place. And in fact, they anticipated you would do that because they have this little casting in the plastic so it can drip down here. That's where this guy comes into play. You take the oil cap off and watch. Perfect. You can fill it very, very easily. We use this thing a lot, especially on some of the Hondas actually. So the customer's complaint is that the shifter feels a little loose. He has some issues maybe getting it into gear at times. He complains that the AC isn't working, the check engine light is on, and also he has an issue with the clunking going on in the front end. He'd like to know what's going on with all those 4 items, and then he would decide how far he wants to go with it. The first one, with the loose shifter issue, actually Mrs. Wizard will demonstrate for you guys in the interior review. Take it away, Mrs. Wizard.
There we have it, 128,824 miles, and I'm like, in this gauge cluster, it's nice, it's pretty, it's well laid out, it's got a few lights on there right now because we're in accessory mode, but let's go ahead and take our hand off there and turn off the key. Okay, well, we're going to see one thing very common in this interior review, and that's called dust. Dust is a little bit everywhere. Oh, and here, by the way, here's that interior view shot from that unfortunate windshield. Luckily, almost all of it really is on that passenger side. On the driver's side, not much going on. Okay, so at least it's not affecting the straight-on view of the driver. But as we go back to our dash, we've got a very small little snack shelf there, as my daughter calls it. And, oh, that pops open nicely. It does open, it just has a bit of a pop there. Got a registration, and looks like we have a bulb in there also, but it does close quite nice. The little screen here has a few scratches in there, and other than that, the controls are quite easy to use, very simplistic. As we move down, we'll see we have our cup holder. The shift boot is looking a little aged. Some of the leather covering has come off, and here's that gear selector that is having trouble. Oh, well, yeah, that would be trouble. It looks like all the thread inside there is gone, so there's nothing actually to thread this onto. Well, I guess this is truly a stick shift at the moment. Okay, we do have our e-brake in the center, a little bit more dust and things. Look at a lighter. This seat is in better shape than the other seat, let me tell you. The other one has got a few holes in it. Door card is in good shape though, other than a little bit of dust and maybe a good Armor All treatment that actually could clean up very nicely. The back seat is currently in cargo mode, so we can't really see what the top of that seat looks like, but that's kind of an interesting setup back there. I'm not seeing seats that flip up in that manner, so you could at least put two areas of storage, one in the middle section and then one in the very far section, because this is a hatchback. Headliner's in good shape for the most part, a few marks there, but it's at least staying upright and not floating down to your head. I think one reason we can attribute the paint peeling on the hood is also probably what's causing this damage as well. The sun, the evil sun, all that UV rays are damaging everything it is touching, and it definitely hurt the top of that steering wheel. So other than that, it's looking good. A little dusty in here, could use a nice cleanup rag and some Armor All, but other than that, looking good. Let's go ahead and get the Crap 123 hooked up and see what's going on with this thing.
So it does have the check engine light on. The customer wanted to know what's going on with that. And those of you who have worked on cars or kind of gearheads are going to see this code on our CRAP 123 or CRP 123, and you're going to know right away what it is. Take a look, guys. Catalyst efficiency below threshold. Bad cat. There's no magic fix for that. No magic something you can pour in your gas tank. You have to replace the cat. That's the legal fix to make this thing right. And unfortunately, it's very expensive. But now we know. Why is the check engine light on? Now we know. So I'll show you where the cat is at, and we're going to take a look at this pesky clunking noise in the front end. Let's get this thing up in the air. So we do have our little belly pan section removed, so we can take a look for leaks. And keep in mind, guys, the customer mentioned he and his daughter who drive this are very hard on the car. I wouldn't say it's been abused, but it has not been treated nicely. They admit that. So, and even under that type of environment for this car, so far it's not that bad. I was expecting it to be so bad, and it's not. Take a look. Here's our engine oil pan and our transmission. Nothing leaking. Here's our radiator and the fans. Again, nothing's leaking out of there. Look at that little baby hose, Mrs. Wizard.
Oh, that's awfully tiny and looking like it's holding pressure nicely.
Thinking about oil pans on a Honda Fit, didn't you have an aunt that had an issue with that?
Yeah, my aunt had a Honda Fit, and she was going down a dirt road, lived on a dirt road in Kansas, who would have thought, and hit a rock, big rock in the road, and put a hole in it.
Oh my, yeah,
Yep.
It is aluminum, I could see that.
Yeah, she fixed it and sold it right away.
Yeah, it's probably not good for dirt roads. So no leaks going on, no issues there. Let's take a look at the wheels. Brakes are about 50% remaining. CV boots are good. Nothing loose there. Our strut is not blown, but however, look at that, guys. There's our clunking noise, sway bar links. Go to the other side, brakes are 50%. CV boots are good. Not slinging grease anywhere. The strut is good. Nothing loose here. Oh, that one's even worse, guys. Sway bar links for sure. That's the clunking noise in the front. So as we continue back, I want to show you where that catalytic converter that's failed is located. It does have a secondary catalytic converter here, but it is not monitored. There's no sensors behind it. The code that is showing an error or failure is not with this little secondary cat. It's with the main cat up here. We can see it's right mounted to the engine. It's all one piece. You can't just cut out the cat and weld in a new one. It's all part of the exhaust manifold. Most newer cars today, that's the way they're going. They're molding the catalytic converter and the exhaust manifold into these weird contorted shapes, and there's just no way to put in a cheap converter. You have to buy the whole thing. If this one's bad, the secondary one, I don't know. It doesn't have any cat monitors behind it. It really doesn't matter. Again, the code is focusing on the one that's mounted to the engine. As we move back, the fuel tank is in the middle of the car. It's under where you sit, basically, in the front seats. There's actually a piece of it sticking out. It goes into the fuel filler. Here's our rear seat floor pans. And then back here, no fuel tank, because it's literally in the middle of the car. Here's our trunk. Everything's intact. Let's check out these wheels in the back. The drum brakes are still performing well. The shocks are not blown out. Nothing loose there. No sway bars to worry about. No blown out shock. Nothing leaking from the drums. Nothing loose back here. Then we have our exhaust that comes back to the muffler and does a little U-turn here and comes out the end.
Wow, Wizard, that's really bald.
Well, thanks. That's not very nice to say.
The tires.
Oh, yes, the tires are definitely bald. Look at that. It's almost slicks, guys. Let's look at the other side. Not as bad, but it's definitely down to the wear bars. I'll let the customer know it is time for tires all the way around. Being that they're that bald, I expect them to be very old, but they're from 05 of 24. They're only a year old, and they're that worn down, so wow. That is a lot of miles on these tires. Let's get the thing on the ground. So except for the cosmetics and the bodywork and things like that in the windshield, that's not really that much that's wrong with this vehicle. I fully expected a much longer list. Being that the customer mentioned that they were hard on the car, I said, oh man, this is going to be a long list. But it's not. It's not cheap. And what makes it not cheap is the catalytic converter. Here's a picture of one here. And it takes quite a few hours to get the old one out and put the new one in. It was going to be over $1,000 to just do the catalytic converter. The customer gave us the go-ahead for the sway bar links, recharge the AC, which, by the way, the only issue we found with the AC is when we remove the covers to the charge ports, we could hear the pshh. So it's leaking there. We'll replace the Schrader valves, recharge it. AC will work again just fine. And the sloppy shifter will find a way to mount the shifter knob a little better, and it needs some shifter bushings. And that'll take care of the play that's in the shifter and make it work a lot better for this customer. The owner of this car said he didn't want to dump thousands into it, and I don't blame him. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But he said, we are not fixing the catalytic converter. It runs just fine. He says, the check engine light on. Now I know why, what it's going to take to fix it, and I'm not spending the money on it. So we don't get to fix the catalytic converter, unfortunately. Kansas is not an emissions state. There are no inspections at all for anything on your car except for the VIN number when you bring a car out of state. That's it. Nothing else is inspected anywhere in the entire state. So even though legally it should be fixed, the catalytic converter, I have no power to enforce it. There's nothing I can do. So we'll get the sway bar links replaced and take care of that nasty clunking. We'll get the shifter a lot tighter so it's not confusing getting in which gear you're in. The AC recharged, and obviously not the catalytic converter. So is it worth it? The condition this car is in, without the catalytic converter, yes. Again, I expected the list to be much longer, but with just some sway bar links and a few things, this car will be drivable for many more years. It does need some tires. We will let the customer know that. He probably should look into a new windshield as well. It's kind of blocking the view a little bit with all the cracks. This car in its current condition is probably worth $2,000 or less. You would not be able to command or demand $5,000 out of this car. Once a potential buyer looked at it, they would look at the windshield, the faded paint, some of the other issues it has. They'd say, no, bro, this is a $2,000 car all day long. Based on that fact, we're going to be under that still to repair the other items. Yes, it is worth fixing. So is this a good car? Absolutely it is. These are wonderful cars. They're good on gas. They're very reliable. And even though the customer admitted they drive this thing hard, it still has survived with only just a handful of things need to be replaced, and it can still keep going. There's a lot of cars like Buick Encores or these little Chevy Sparks, these tiny cars that are coming out today. If they were to be driven in a manner that this one was, they would not survive. Heck, they don't even survive when you maintain them and treat them nice, some of these newer small cars. They're just crap. These are not crap. In fact, Mrs. Wizard's aunt bought one for the fuel economy, and unfortunately on Kansas dirt roads, when it hit the oil pan and broke it open, she knew this is not the car for the environment she lives in. So she got it fixed and sold it and got a CR-V actually. But these are perfect around town cars. You can do highway cruising on them as well. They're good on gas. And as you saw in the engine bay, they're very easy to work on, which means the bills are not going to be so high with massive hours of labor. And parts are plentiful for these things. This is easily a 300,000 mile car. Easily. You can pick up a nice one of these for 4, 5, 6 grand. Maybe a little more if it's like museum quality. You can find them in this condition all day long, 2 grand, maybe 3, sometimes a little less. If you don't care the way it looks, you just need to get back and forth to work or school, something like this would be great. Is it pretty? No. Will it get you where you're going without leaving you stranded? Yes. They are that good, guys. The Honda Fit is a great car. This isn't a micro car like a smart car or something, which I think the smart cars are a little unsafe. I've watched some of those videos on YouTube where they get hit by a semi and the whole car goes airborne. That's not safe. Even though you may survive the crash, I don't want to go airborne. So, for a kid, a college kid, a high school kid, this is a perfect car. It's safe, it's very reliable, very good on gas, and when it does break, it's not going to break the bank. Excellent recommendation for a car. If you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this Honda Fit, like the Crap 123 we just showed you, which I've been using that thing for 10 or 15 years, and it just keeps working. It's a trooper. Check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. A lot of the tools we use in the shop every day are listed for sale there. They're proven to be excellent tools, very useful. If you purchase any of them, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because next week is full. We have like 9 cars coming next week, which means there's going to be a lot of videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.